Welcome back, everyone, one last time to Alice, Madness Returns. You'll notice that I have the caterpillar outfit on. That's because I've been going for extra collectibles, using the shrink sense and all that good stuff. Just to show you one thing real quick, let's go into, I guess over here. I'm just picking a generic area where there shouldn't be really anything to bother me. Not for the costume itself, but rather for the DLC weapons. Check this out. Number one is, of course, the cleaver. Right? Still got the pretty cool look to it. Let's get up a little. There. Oh, man, that's awesome. Number two, Octo Grinder. Basically, this thing is a better ammo limit. And it shoots green and black. I guess that's what you get for being fully upgraded. Kinda cool. Number three, look at that terrifying thing. And look what it does to the grounds when you use it for a full combo. It's terrifying. Ugh, do not get hit by that. One more time. You couldn't get a good look. And finally, the teapot. That freaking thing. Look at that nightmare. But check what happens when you hit something with it. See the cat's face? Ah, for God's sake. Yeah. Let's hit an enemy with it real quick. Ugh. The cat's face comes up. That's freaking creepy. Now, what I'm really here for, though, is the collectibles themselves. I got most of the memories, but those are mostly, you know, those are just the audio things. What have you not heard? I don't even know. Reckless obstinance? I don't know.
I know you hear me, you contrary child. Use the bedpan and let go of that wretched rabbit.
Of that wretched rabbit. Yeah, you'll see I don't have quite all of them here. The Alice, okay, well, Alice's herself would be mandatory. Radcliffe I did find all of. Nanny I'm just missing one in Chapter 1 and 2. Pris, just Chapter 2. Liddell, I think I'm only missing, okay, the end of Chapter 1. Somehow I missed every single one in Chapter 2, and one in Chapter 3. Otherwise I think I should be good. And finally, Bumby himself. That freaking guy. The last thing of Chapter 5. Huh. I wonder if it was right in front of the Puppet Master or what. Or the doll maker. But what I'm really here for, though, is I did get every bottle in the game. Extra content. So now I can finally show you the extra concept out of Troubling Visions and the characters. So let's see, we got Bumby himself. The founder of the Houndsditch Home and Refuge for Wayward Youth is my landlord, employer, and therapist. Oh boy. A rising star in the philanthropic community who serves the East End's vast, deprived, juvenile population. I'm winning the war against depravity, misery, and degradation by training my unfortunate patients to forget their pasts. Ugh. Yeah, why is it that the philanthropists are always the villains of these games? It makes you, like, not trust philanthropists. And philanthropists are, like, the most trustworthy people ever. Which I guess is the whole idea. Pris Witless. Before being sacked from the asylum, she was a night nurse on my ward. She mistakenly imagines that we're friends on that account. Her addiction to gin has forced her to become a dog's body for a variety of East End practitioners. No errand is too menial or beneath her dignity. Not sure if she supplements her income, but I'd rather not think about it. Ugh. The cat himself. Yeah, I missed like everything in Chapter 1. Look at this. God damn. I guess I won't read everything word for word. He's my alter ego, perfectly willing to give voice to the doubts and fears I'm unable to express. He's cynical, sarcastic, distant, philosophical, flippant, earnest. He can render valuable service as long as he keeps himself out of harm's way. The White Rabbit. To say I might follow him anywhere would be a romantic exaggeration. We have a history, and the list of places he's led me is long, and the outcomes have not always been happy. Hey, look, Alice, you didn't get stepped on by the Mad Hatter, okay? White Rabbit got himself killed off. The Duchess. The Queen of Hearts is an exceptionally unattractive cousin. Let's say ugly and move on. She once behaved rudely to me and I had to turn her around, as it were. Yeah, I got her to sneeze herself to death. Now her caring assistance feels threatening. I prefer her old self. At least then I knew what I was dealing with. Yeah, she never really comes after me in this game, but, like, I kind of raised my eyebrows when I saw her. The Hatter himself. Tea time used to be good, but things turned bad when he joined the Queen. Now his undernourished physique is in parts, and his crafty mechanical obsessions seem wreckage. Despite his comeuppance, he's still a bit of a blowhard, but not evil, I think. He fell through, which is good. Or he pulled through, anyway. The March Hare. Yeah, his tea time companion turned the tables on his former host. He's mad, of course, but he's not a lunatic. At least I don't think so, despite his menacing palaver. He just seems unnaturally fixated on keeping the Hatter down. The Dormouse. Sleepy, cynical, stupid, a martinet to the March Hare. Imagine how far down the food chain a creature must fall before securing that august position. I'd say his new role as a troublemaker had gone to his head, but I would presume he had a brain. I don't know, he seemed more threatening in the game. The Bulb Fly. These don't fight you. You just see these things flying around, which is kind of cool. Professor Swan's claims concerning incandescent lighting signal the end of an era for gas lamps and candles. Yeah, you would hear a couple of these mentions in the Liddell's memory. Like, imagine all the money we'll save on oil and kerosene. Automaton. Yeah, these are, again, just decoration. Hardly more interesting than a cuckoo and a clock, let alone a Talos or a Pandora, but then I'm not a Hephaestus. Wow. Okay, Talos was, I think, a gigantic... I think he was a giant of some kind, or a golem. Pandora... Unless there's another meaning, it's the girl who opened the box. And Hephaestus is the god's blacksmith, the Greek version, otherwise known as Vulcan in the Roman version. Regular cat. Reminded me of Snowdrop, Dinah's kitten. I try not to think about her. She'd be an old lady now if she's alive. Dark snail. Ugh. The degraded vale is overpopulated with disgusting creatures, so I dismiss the spiky cephalopod. He feeds on his own regurgitated bile. I don't have to fight him then. Dodo mech. As if it hadn't suffered enough, I imagine the extinct bird kitted out like others in the Hatter's mad and mechanized realm. Footman. His appearance were not required for this adventure. He's still a good frog. Yeah, I guess this must have been a character model that didn't make it into the game, because I don't recognize this at all. Mock Sparrow. We saw those at the very beginning. The Mock Turtle regarded this creature as a threat. He has so little self-confidence. It would have been cruel to bring the bird into the mix. Yeah, you see them for like a second and that's it. Regular snail. It was to keep me company in the Vale of Tears, but the changes there would not have been to his liking. Yeah, again, this guy made the concept art, but not really the game, unless you count just decoration, because you see him just sitting still. Regular dodo. Pigs, humans, macaques, all contributed to the extinction of this thing on Mauritius. The very strange bird was once considered a myth, but Clark's reports justified Papa's belief that someone or something slated to go the way of the dodo is more than a rhetorical flourish. 2 more before I have to look at where I'm going. Nan Sharp. She taught French and music to Lizzie and me. Disastrous choices in companionship, penury, and an iron-hard sense of pride have led her to a life of not quite squalid prostitution. From her digs at the Mangled Mermaid, she manages a string of professional women on the street. Jack Splatter, a bullying, bad-tempered congenital criminal. He's built a career in the labor of desperate women. Once Nan Sharp's procurer and protector, he runs a sordid trade out of the Mangled Mermaid. Yeah, so he's pretty much a pimp. Shipwreck Shark. I love these things. But only wood, if it could, would fear these creatures. Self-made from ruins, privateers, clippers, and ships of the line, they consume wood to keep body and soul together. I wish they'd eat one another. Yeah, they killed a griffin on me, man. Merce Squid. Eek. Oh yeah, this was just a decoration. Expertly crafted figureheads, mute but proud emblems that once graced a ship's prow, are furious with their sunken fate. Rather than suffer their silence, the little typo there, wail their own siren songs and bring down other ships. Mock Turtle. Oh, let's see how far I have to go. Oh god, chapter 2. I blew chapter 2, man. And 1. I suck at this. The former master of the railroad is kind but self-absorbed. Weepy and fatalistic, not clever. The carpenter himself. Look at that, man. This guy. What a showman. Master of the malaprop, lacks a scintilla of a skill in his eponymous trade. Wouldn't know a hammer from a handsaw. Appears to have appointed himself lord of theatrical universe. Given his subjects, I don't suspect there was much resistance. Yeah, really. Freaking oysters. The walrus. This guy can do what he wants. The walrus. If observation is a judge, he's not missed a meal in his life. Pigs at a trough have more dignity, etc. Fish couple. Yeah, these things creep me out. Keeping children amused is a priority of indulgent parents the world over, but these two have more on their minds. They're at odds in their opinions of the carpenter, his character, creation, and role in protecting them from corruption. Octopus. I was supposed to collect a script from this Glaswegian lush. He's angry about something, but not nasty. Overfond of his own opinion, but a decent sense of play. Music fish. Divas from Covent Garden to La Scala have jitters before a performance. Expressed as vital, unsatisfiable needs, they preemptively excuse things going badly. By such, the talent tries to insulate itself from failure, which is much more often imagined than real. No excuse, however, will deflate the condemnation deserved by this tone-deaf, talentless, time-serving performer. Yeah, this thing's voice pissed me off. Oyster Starlet. Without a script, this perilous theatrical dunce must rely on mangled cliches as a substitute for speech. Yeah. The mayor. That was the mayor? Oh, yeah, he had it bad. He seems deluded that he refuses to accept rejection as a sign of rejection. I know that denial is a dangerous thing. Turtle chest. Sometimes the treasures you seek are just out of reach. Yeti. Yeah, this guy never even rose to the level of abominable. He just kind of chilled in the back. Piranha. Ugh. Oh god. The illustrations of this thing were thrilling. A school of voracious man-eaters, imagine. Radcliffe himself. I think we've already seen that guy. Yep. Yay! I think I took care of chapter 3 and 4 perfectly. So all that leaves is chapter 5, and then I can finally wrap it up, huh? Dr. Wilson had a reputation as a capable and innovative physician, but to me his questions seemed intrusive, his prodding ill-conceived, and his practice dubious at best. Nurse Cratchit, a feeble-minded, mean-spirited toady, like many of her ilk, barely suited for emptying bedpans and mopping up vomit. She was no friend to me. Jeez. Orderly Tweedles. Yes! These freaking guys. The superintendent's repulsive nephews are cruel by disposition and training. Like all bullies, they're potentially dangerous. Fortunately, they're dumb as rocks. And you saw a bit of this in this game, but again, instruction booklet for the first game, these guys are just bully Alice in well, not the first game, but in the events before the first game. 6 to go. The doll maker. Look at that bastard. He's assumed the benign title of a decent craftsman to deceive the world, and perhaps himself. The lie will be exposed. The truth will out, or I will perish. Insane children. Once the hapless tools of my nemesis, these mistreated, insulted, and long-suffering juveniles have lost sight and all hope of returning to normal. I know them better than I'd like, and not as well as I should. You'll notice that they returned to the dolls in this game. In the previous game, they returned into those annoying clockwork bots that we saw were piloted by madcaps in this game. Weird things. The leader. If the metaphor has it right, then in the kingdom of the blind, the one-eyed are kings. There's certainly an analogy among the insane children, though whether their king is assumed to rule by virtue of being less insane is debatable. Toy soldiers. Yeah, we saw a bit of them just propped up. It's hardly surprising he couldn't pass muster. He showed himself a timid warrior and unfit for any duty more exacting than watching smoke rise. Doll boy. Not surprising, this jerry-built, nailed-together, malevolent automaton masquerading as a child violates every mother's wise admonition. Don't play with scissors. Huh, if he had any sense. If he had any ears, then the advice would have fallen on deaf ones. He cares nothing for sense. He doesn't have any of that either. I wish I had a hammer. And finally, the dog baby. We saw this for a second, kind of as concept art more than anything else. It seems to have already been incapacitated before I arrived, perhaps turned down and made a mockery of by its fellow abominations. A tragedy that such lovely ears should be wasted on such a pitiful face. Most definitely. Whew, that was a lot of reading, and now all that's left is the troubling visions. Chapter 1 has how many of these things? 8. Okay. So we got the tea time stuff. I love this stuff. And I know I can't make it bigger, which is a real shame. Because look at this. Wouldn't you love to blow this up? Like, look at how cool this looks. We got more places we visited. Stacks of plates. Oh, look at that. She's like rafting a little teapot. That's pretty cool. And kind of more of the same. I love stuff like this. Then we have chapter 2. I guess, yeah, okay, I guess it's 8 for each. Oops, I went way too far. Alright. Look at that, we got the wrecked ship. Man, there's so much to look at. I'm sorry I'm not talking like when I collect these things immediately, but I'm just like, whoa. And there's that annoying musical fish. And that may or may not be Alice, I can't quite tell. Ugh. Yeah, this was originally going to be the Duchess's location, in a bath in the underwater level, because apparently the developers thought it amusing to be able to, like, be in a bathtub of water, underwater. I'm kind of glad they didn't go this way, though, because Duchess is hideous enough when she's not naked in a tub. But she does have the little pig baby, though, which is pretty amusing, implying that she killed him and started to eat him in the first level, which is dark. Ship in a bottle? Oh god, could you imagine if that was an issue in this game? This giant underwater fangs in the deep. Again, we have invisible walls in this game, or when you touch the water you die, but they were originally going to have the boundaries of a level be pretty much these things. So if you exceed the realm of the extent of the level, then they'll just kill you. And I would have loved that idea, because that's freaking scary. More just beautiful look at the scenery itself. Goldfish in a bowl over here. Man, look at all this. Underwater swimming. And now we have the mysterious east. There's the whole mountain and the village all the way down there. We had quite a way to climb. And you can see our pathway over here. See the dots? Just like the painting inside. Black and white, but we see the jade statues and all that. Oh, a relaxing garden kind of looking place. Again with jade ground. I guess just a cool look at the forest from below. The caterpillar in his giant cocoon. That's a pretty sweet view right there. More black and white, and there's Alice kind of there getting ready to go up. Looks almost like that hookah smoke. And now you have Chapter 4, which I have shown you. The card bridge, the hedge maze, crushing cards. Inside, the giant gate. It looks like the Queen of Hearts trapped in a heart. It reminds me of Satan in Dante's Inferno. He's trapped in his own level of hell. The tentacles. Ugh. I guess this might be Chapter 5 now, the Insanity chapter. Yep, giant creepy house. The dollhouse itself. The doll maker. God, is that guy creepy. The train. And that thing's long. Look at that. Cathedral train. That's a cool view. The insane children with their creepy leader. Inside the train, and there's looks like the origami ant leader, maybe. Alright. Ugh, inside the creepy part of the dollhouse, like the creepier part, you see the scissors here, everything. And that's it. I don't have all the memories in the game, which are just those audio files, but I have acquired every visual and character description. So, this game is now 98% complete. I'm only missing some memories, a couple snouts, some of which probably leave me to memories, some of which probably leave just bread baskets or something. I got all the bottles. I got all the radula rooms. So I'm in peak physical condition. So with all that done, I guess we conclude Alice Madness Returns for good. Well, there you have it. I've taken care of all the extras, the visual ones anyway, in Alice Madness Returns, resulting in a 98% complete file. At this point, as I said during the footage, all I really have to do now is just get remaining snouts if I really felt like it, and picking up memories, which I'm a little more interested in. I really don't know why the game keeps track of how many snouts you've acquired, because most of them just give you picnic baskets with teeth, and that doesn't really matter. It's just stuff you don't need if you've already bought everything. I mean, I know there's an achievement for getting all the snouts, but for the PC version, it doesn't really need to be there. But, oh well. So I've gotten various extras. I've finally gotten more of an in-depth look into the Alice universe, especially regarding specific characters, some of whom I wasn't even aware of, as they apparently didn't make it into the game as an end result. So, I guess now we could say that I am finally super duper done with Alice Madness Returns. And also, you may have noticed that I had a new title card for this installment. I would like to give special thanks to Zorgof for this. Thank you very much, man. This card's amazing. And this makes a total of a ridiculous number, 13 title cards, which I honestly thought, you know, especially back when I got started, that would be 13 more than I'd expected. So once again, thank you all so much for your contributions, for your title cards, your comments, your views, your symbolism, in-depth explanations, you know, all that good stuff. Because as much as I got out of this game, I really wouldn't have gotten, I'm using words over and over again, but I really wouldn't have gotten as much out of this game as I did if it weren't for the people who helped me out along the way as well. So once again, thank all of you so much. Until next time, everyone.